Because comedians are very far away from the income tax threshold. We have no money. Gerald Giam from the WP has asked about is that if there is such a large surplus, is this a sign of poor fiscal marksmanship? Which is a glorious term. Fiscal marksmanship.
Deep.
That's quite deep. I don't know why we went so far. Like we're supposed to be like funny and shit, but now we are
cute.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Mothership podcast with me, Rishi Budhrani. So, what am I doing here? If you're new to the show, I'm a stand-up comedian in Singapore, and one of the things I do is to read the news to get a little bit of material. All right, and I'm very lucky because I have with me a Mothership reporter who's going to give me some of the top news, and I'm going to try and mine it for some jokes. Hopefully, if not on the show, on stage at some point. And the best part is that the Mothership gives me access to a new reporter every week. And today I have KZ. What's going on, KZ?
Hello.
How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I hope you are too.
Well, you're giving me the journalist face. You're giving me the skeptical journalist face, KZ. You're like, I hope you are good too. You've got some top stories that you've been working on for a long time because you say you only got like a few hours of sleep. But that's how we operate. Yeah, when you reach my age, you will get less and less sleep. Yeah, right now, I think you just finished O-levels?
O-level.
I don't know. You've got some top stories for me. Let's hear it.
So there are two Olympians at the current Winter Olympics that have been drawing a lot of attention on the internet because they have similar backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Both are Chinese American. Eileen Gu and Alysa Liu.
Ah, right.
Okay.
This was the one where the reporter asked Eileen a bit of a weird question, right?
Yes.
About was it something like because she got a silver medal?
Yes. Is it two gold loss or two silver gains, something like that? Yeah.
It's almost as though, and maybe this is the peril or the bane of being a reporter or a journalist sometimes, that we are so used to the soundbite culture that every reporter is chasing the best soundbite, and maybe sometimes they're under pressure to ask questions that are provocative and evoke a certain strong emotion, which it did, right? It evoked a very strong response from Eileen. Eileen. And here we look at the entire like minority crew, all the Indians and Malays behind the cameras going, Eileen, who knows, bro? Who gives a Eileen?
Okay.
Oh man, what's the big thing that people are kind of talking about in your research? About this
so
issue?
she is Chinese American, but she's representing China. And there's another girl called Alysa Liu. She's a figure skater, and she's also Chinese American, but she represents America. And she also won the gold medal for America this time. I think it's the first in like more than 20 years for the US team.
Wow.
Like for the female figure skating soloists. Yeah.
And the controversy is that because Eileen was born and raised in the US and now she's representing China,
Yes.
it didn't go down too well with the Trump administration. I think J.D. Vance also kind of weighed in on it, right?
Commented on it, yes.
That's interesting, that how sport can turn into some kind of geopolitical issue.
Yes.
Yeah? But we don't have that problem in Singapore, I think, right? We are okay. We got bigger problem, but we got bigger problem because our athletes need to serve NS. You know what I mean? Like, I speak from experience. I would have been a national treasure as an athlete. I don't know why you're laughing.
In what sport?
In what sport is a good question. I had so many to choose from. But, can't you see that I would have been a podium placer in any sport? You're making really weird faces, Casey. Okay. Am I? Casey, I want to ask you about a story that you wrote actually. Okay, so we go one by one now. I also read the news a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, but you wrote a story about a train stalker, alleged train stalker. Tell me about that.
Okay, so every day, this woman on her way to work she takes the train from Tanah Merah MRT station,
Mm.
but she started noticing that there's a man that will always try to sit diagonally across from her, or like move his seat so that he will always be across from her.
Alamak.
And the worst part is that she noticed this man every day whenever she wears this certain black dress.
Okay, yeah. I saw that in your report. Well, those of you, Tanah Merah MRT.
Yes, Tanah Merah in the
Those
east
of you
side.
who've been saying east side, west side. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's kind of, yeah. East side, East side. I'm an east sider also. But this wasn't me, guys. I just want to... Can I clarify? I don't know why I feel the need to clarify that it wasn't me. You know it's not me, right?
It's not.
This was a dude with long hair, right?
Yes. There are some speculation in the comments that like he has been secretly taking videos of her, like using a camera that he attached to his shoes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but those are just speculations.
I also read that she wasn't the only person who recognized
Right.
this man, right?
Right,
There were
yeah.
others who kind of
Yeah.
corroborated her
Yes.
feelings and her story as well.
Yep. A few other women commented as well, saying like, no, I recognize this guy. I always see him like at Pasir Ris, Tampines, or the East Side MRT stations.
Hiya. Why, bro? Why we're doing so well, East side with the food and with like all the positive stuff with East Coast Park and all that, and now you come and start this nonsense in the East. Hey, bro, if you wanna, honestly, if you're really stalking people or trying to do this nonsense, just go to Yishun. Just keep it like stay on brand. Is what I'm saying. Sorry, the Yishunites.
But the sad thing about this is that after the story went out, like I was monitoring the comment sections, and like a lot of like comments were blaming her for wearing a short black dress.
Yeah. But okay, this was again, there were other women who also kind of shared that they've also felt this way. So how this is problematic, right? This is a common issue, right? A bit of victim blaming that happens.
It's like sometimes it's like it has to go to a certain extreme, then people will believe, but then by then it's too late for the victim, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone just need to have a bit more empathy. Like maybe you don't have to believe them, but you also don't have to blame them.
Yep. Until all the facts are laid out, right? Before that, just shut up. I mean, we don't know. I think the internet is so good at giving opinions without having the full information. That's what we all do, right? I mean, I'm not saying everybody else, but sometimes I also read a bit and I'm like, this. I have an opinion about this without knowing the full facts. And maybe we need to just unlearn that habit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But on a separate note, right? There was a story about a monkey. Speaking of the internet and speaking of how people like to comment on different things going on, Punch the monkey in a zoo in Japan. You know the story?
Yes, I've seen photos of Punch, but I've not really read up about his story.
Because you're busy doing real journalism work, right? You don't care about the monkeys in Japan.
Writing stalking stories.
Yeah. You don't care about the poor macaque. The poor boy. Why is the internet obsessed with Punch the monkey? I think I know why.
Why?
Because, again, based on the facts that I have or information I have, this is about abandonment, right? A little kid that was abandoned by his mother, struggling to fit in to a new world, getting bullied, and just struggling to survive in a way. While it's all kind of normal in the animal kingdom, it seems, I think human beings on social media are so obsessed with this story because somewhere we all see ourselves as Punch the monkey. Somewhere we all have some mommy or daddy issues of abandonment. Somewhere we are all struggling to fit in. Somewhere we all have a comfort animal or a comfort toy or a comfort thing that we hold on to when things get tough. And I think more importantly, in this world of AI and social media where the human beings are so fake and nobody is real anymore, it feels like the closest thing we have to reality and authenticity is an animal.
Deep.
That's quite deep. I don't know why we went so far. Like, we're supposed to be like funny and shit, but now we are talking.
Cute internet sensation.
Actually, yeah, maybe it's just because it's cute.
Yeah.
Like, I went into this deep psychological stuff. No, cute now. That's why the monkey is cute now. That's why people care. Nobody cares if the monkey is not cute. I mean, if Punch wasn't that cute, maybe it wouldn't be such a good story. It was an ugly ass monkey, yeah. You know, like.
Or maybe the toy wasn't an orangutan, but another kind of toy.
Hey, but you know, I talked about this whole human condition about why we are obsessed with Punch the monkey, myself included. Like, I've had, like, you know, visions of hammering the monkeys that are bullying Punch. You know, so stupid. But I think the one company that always benefits from some kind of internet marketing is IKEA.
Oh, the toys from IKEA.
Yeah, the orangutan market sold out, guys. The orangutans at IKEA sold out faster than the tickets to my Lex live show happening 26th of March, the Rishi Report live. Check it out. Still got tickets. Every show I do, just, you know, slip in.
Yeah.
You can come if you want. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Bring your ID.
My who?
ID.
ID?
Not who. Not who you want to bring. Everything
I
you
have
bring.
no one to bring.
Yeah, KZ. I'm not saying bring your orangutan along.
I think I'll bring my orangutan.
Bring a date,
Yeah.
bring a friend, you know, whoever you want to bring. But bring your ID because they'll check age.
Okay,
It's an M18 show.
Okay.
Okay?
Luckily, I'm over 18.
I don't know why you're saying that. But okay. Yeah. Let's talk about other announcements. Since you have
Yes.
made such a great announcement
Yes.
and you're over 18.
Because
okay.
you asked me if I just did my O levels.
I am sorry I did that. I didn't mean to age shame. Okay? I didn't mean to age shame. So those were some of the stories that caught our attention. But KZ, I'm sure you've been spending a lot of time. I know you guys have had late nights in the newsroom discussing the budget debates this year. What's some of the highlights of the budget debates?
So one of the biggest topic that members of parliament, MPs are talking about is AI, of course. I mean, you might have heard PM Wong is starting like a national AI council in his budget speech.
He is. Actually, he invited me.
To the council.
No. So stupid. No, he didn't. He called, but I said no. I said, no, sorry, busy, bro.
Okay. Yeah, so then, his plans to supercharge Singapore's adoption of AI was discussed by many of the MPs, with many pointing out like the importance of education across all ages and levels, and others were also expounding on like the ethical considerations as well. Yeah.
Do you feel like, and I asked this to all the reporters that I sit with, right? Do you feel like your job is in danger of being taken over by AI, like a lot of these concerns that are raised in Parliament as well, right? You know, because some workers may not be able to adapt, or they've got to go to upskilling, they've got to try and figure out whether they might be replaced. Is that your fear?
I think for my job in particular, no, because I think AI still cannot replicate like human emotions, and I think that comes into play a lot in like news reporting and like feature profiles.
Yep. My biggest fear is that AI or artificial intelligence, right, was meant to make us smarter. Supposedly, right? It's supposed to improve our lives. Supposed to make us as humanity more intelligent. But I feel like we are in a paradoxical world where the more artificial intelligence is leading to more man-made stupidity. See all this stuff. Is it too deep?
Maybe they're relying more on maybe students are relying more on ChatGPT to do their essays.
Yeah, right. A little bit. Yeah. I'm glad you brought up students. I forgot what that feels like. Obviously, you are closer to that world than I am.
Yeah. So the Minister of State for Digital Development and Information, Jasmine Lau, brought up a point about the need for Singapore to find a way forward to keep people together and stay in control of AI.
Yeah. That's an extreme situation, right? If really we lose control of AI and finish, there's this, that's the real danger. do you feel like us setting up the National AI Council is a way to get ahead of that? Like, we are talking about getting ahead of the thing, but is it us getting ahead of the danger of losing control of AI rather than getting ahead of the technology and trying to be at the cutting edge of it? Do you think our government knows something that we don't? That actually, bro, we are on the verge of losing control. That's why these Avengers had to assemble at the National AI Council. And they're like, hey, MPs, assemble. Hey, Josephine, come. Jeffrey, Siling, come here, Siling.
And Rishi as well.
And Rishi, no. Hey, Rishi, go and fill the water bottles. Okay. No, but yeah, that's good. Okay, AI was one of the things. What I bring up the National AI Council because I feel like it's to move in the right direction. But I also feel sad for our Prime Minister. Because he announced the National AI Council, he announced that he's the chairman of the AI Council, and then China went to spread misinformation about him using AI within that couple of weeks that this all happened. So I feel like poor thing. I know the guy is trying his best to do it. And China, don't let her. Not the whole country, but whoever is doing it in China, don't let her. Okay, come. What else came up in parliamentary debates? Don't forget the reason we're here. Parliamentary debates.
Parliamentary debates. Okay, moving on. The topic of wealth inequality was also brought up in Singapore. So the backdrop to this discussion is that the government released like a set of data in Feb that wealth inequality exceeded income inequality.
Wealth inequality exceeded income inequality. Maybe just outline the difference between wealth and income inequality for me.
Okay, so like the wealth tends to be more unequally distributed than income because assets accumulate over time and it can be passed down through generations as well, while income represents like what people earn in that given period.
I see. Okay. I understand that. Okay, and that's one of the reasons also you've kind of touched on why there is this disparity in the inequality, ironically.
Yeah, so like there were a lot of questions from MPs. So Senior Minister of State for Finance, Jeffrey Xiao, he said that the top 1% of households in Singapore hold around 14% of total household wealth, while the top 5% hold about 33%.
Okay. So, and he also mentioned that this is quite typical of advanced economies like ours.
Yeah.
Something, I paraphrased a little bit, but I heard something like that. Okay, I see. What are some of the things that have come up by some of the suggestions the MPs are making?
MP Sean Low suggested making the property tax system more progressive, and WP MP Louis Chua, he reiterated like a call to reinstate a tax, the net asset value tax, which was done away like more than 10 years ago.
Okay, and this is more like income tax for property value gains, right? I don't have any of these, so I don't know. I have to read about it.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe something that might be more relevant to you, a suggestion by MP Saktiandi Supat. He suggested raising Singapore income tax threshold from the current 20k to up to 30k.
And you say this is more relevant to me because
more relevant for us in the media space.
Because comedians are very far away from the income tax threshold. We have no money. Hello. I think we need our own CDC vouchers, Comedy Development Council vouchers. Okay, so yeah, that's interesting because I think for the past 2 decades or so, approximately, this income tax threshold has been 20,000. In Singapore, resident taxpayers are taxed on a progressive scale. The first $20,000 of annual chargeable income is taxed at 0%. As a struggling comedian fresh out of school at one point, I remember exactly what that's like. So if your chargeable income does not exceed $20,000, you effectively don't pay any income tax. Above that, the tax rates step up through various bands, eventually reaching 24% on the portion of chargeable income above $1 million. Can't wait to get there. The suggestion from this MP is that we increase this threshold to 30,000. Why do you think this suggestion is being made?
So he reasoned that like median incomes have doubled since like this threshold was created like over 20 years ago, but that GST have also increased, cost of living has also increased. So yeah, cost structures have also shifted materially as well. So I think he's trying to say that like just because these lower and middle income individuals meet this threshold, it doesn't mean that they are better off. Yeah,
it's about adjusting even that threshold for inflation, for cost of living, like a lot of things have been adjusted. Okay, I think that's a very very sharp suggestion. I think it's a very interesting one, and very fair one also, right? I think there's one thing that hasn't changed over the past 2 decades, and I think must say good. I think interesting. Yeah. There was the biggest number and the biggest debate, I think, was about the budget surplus.
Yes.
Verify for me as a fact-checking journalist / reporter. What is this amount?
Okay, so the Singapore government recorded a whooping 15.1 billion fiscal surplus in the financial year 2025, which is double the estimated 6.8 billion.
On the surface, that sounds like a good thing, right? Like, country got more money, 15 billion. We expected half of that, but we got more. Right? But what are some of the underlying challenges or issues with that some of the MPs were raising?
I think it's like a big point of contention because it's one of the largest surpluses in recent history, and it's in fact equal to like 1.9% of the country's GDP as well. But so Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, he said that this surplus was driven by like a better than expected economic performance. So the economy grew by 5%, I believe. And it's also driven by the increase in tax collection as well. Yeah.
And okay, well, if you're new to parliamentary debates, right, this is a classic example of opposition MPs at work, trying to ask for accountability, trying to in a way get answers from the ruling party MPs as well, right? So one of the questions I think Gerald Giam from the WP has asked about is that if there is such a large surplus, is this a sign of poor fiscal marksmanship, which is a glorious term, fiscal marksmanship. It's a very military term, right? Because if you're a marksman with a rifle or with your weapon, means you shoot the bullseye. But if you miss the bullseye, you're a bobo shooter. So they're saying that if your fiscal marksmanship is poor, that means, your policy bullseye, you didn't really hit it. Right? That's what I understand from it.
Also, Gerald Gam also said another interesting thing. He was asking if this was unnecessary hoarding of funds.
Right. Yeah. And that's interesting, right? So I think because the surplus is released, the details of the surplus are released annually.
Yep.
But I think it was MP Xie Yao Xuan who said that, look, we are not looking at it so much as an annual project. You have to judge our overall fiscal marksmanship throughout the 5-year term that we've got. All right? Like, okay, look, don't judge me by this 1 year surplus. We've got a plan, right? We've got to save up for the rainy day, unexpected uncertainties, which is a lot of the arguments that some of the MPs are giving. Like, surplus, good on, save up. But I think there was, if I'm not wrong, was it Sean, MP Sean Low, who said, hey, give it back.
Yeah.
Give back, right? You can give back a bit more since you've got so much surplus. If it's beyond a certain amount.
2% of GDP. Fiscal surpluses above 2% of GDP, he asked whether it can be given back to Singaporeans in ways like CDC vouchers.
Yeah, well, the surplus raises all these questions, like we've pointed out. But I think one of the biggest requests or proposals came from WP's chief, Pritam Singh, who talks about the requirement for a report card, right, to kind of give us a bit of details and a bit of transparency on, hey, we spend X amount on this or that. How's that going? You want to tell us a little bit more?
Yeah.
And I think this was a quote from Pritam Singh that there will be
significant public interest in how these surpluses are ultimately deployed, especially given the pressures of an aging population and the persistent concern over inequality.
if there is a genuine report card of where these 15 billion is going, would you be open to reading it? Would you want to read it? Would you be interested in knowing?
Yes, because I'm working.
It is-
I'm working in the media. I have to read it. But
Yeah.
I will also be curious to know, like, I think he specifically asked, like, whether the government can also like share about the outcomes of past initiatives as well.
Okay, give me an example of what you're talking about here.
Okay, so the government recently announced like an additional 37 billion top up into the RIE 2030 plan. That's the Singapore's decade-long plan for boosting research, innovation, and enterprise. So they will invest billions to drive tech, industry, and societal growth. And the outcome is meant to fuel economic and scientific progress lah. But what Pritam Singh is asking is like, previously we pumped 25 billion into this, and I think there hasn't been any like progress from
Okay.
the government about it, but they're pumping 37 billion more. Yeah.
Okay, so this proposal for a report card is a little bit like, hey, can you give us a little bit of a progress report on, you spend this kind of money, how's that going? Right, that's the request, that's the proposal, right? A fair, I think, so like I said, this is a classic example of the MPs requesting for accountability and transparency with these kind of public funds, which is part of what the budget debates are about. So good, yeah. I noticed one more thing. KZ, you're not married, right?
No.
So I'm married, okay? So stupid. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I'm saying that because marriages have reduced in Singapore from 2020. Yeah? If you realize,
Yes. There was a recent report.
2025, there was a report that said the graph has dipped completely. There was a bit of a peak in 2022, but that's because of, I think there was backlog weddings. Those
From
people
COVID?
were, supposed to get married in 2020 and didn't get married. I mean, because I host weddings as well. So business was booming in 2022. I know, because there was a lot of people like, hey, we were supposed to get married 2 years ago, but it didn't happen. Why do you think people are not getting married? Or why do you think there's that dip?
Maybe there's a lack of good candidates for.
Okay. I think that's a fair statement. From whose perspective do you think? Like lack of good candidates both ways,
Yeah, let's
multiple
just
ways?
say both ways.
Yeah?
Let's
Because, you are saying from your own perspective that there's a lack of good candidates. We try to do like a news and current affairs show, and KZ comes on and turns this into like The Bachelor, like Singles Inferno. Like, that's a lousy candidates here, Rishi. Don't like, no good. Singapore. Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding. There's probably many fishes in the sea.
Don't bluff lah. What? See? This is not what we're planning to say. I was planning to tell you something else. I was planning to bring before we were given this lack of candidates in Singapore. Hey, work harder, everybody. Okay, KZ is not happy with the field that you guys are putting out there. Okay, so do better, all of you. So I bring up marriages because there was an interesting proposal by MP David Ho. Right, so he said, in order to encourage families to have more children, this is his proposed scheme. Okay, paraphrased, of course. He said we can introduce jumbo BTO flats. These are bigger flats with like, everything, a helper's room, extra bedroom, soundproofing. Bruh, I don't know why you mentioned soundproofing, but I think it has to do with some property related news in the past few weeks. I feel you, bruh. Soundproofing, right? Extra rooms, bigger flats, so that presumably you can, do the needful to increase the population. Okay? You commit to it when you get the BTO. So, okay, say, hey, I'm going to have minimum 2 children in 5 to 7 years. So, you have minimum kids in the minimum occupation period. So, the minimum occupation period is also the minimum reproduction period. Okay? This is my version of it. Okay, so what happens then is you commit to it, you get a big flat. But if you don't deliver the 2 babies within your MOP, he said that maybe we can have a clawback of some of the subsidies or clawback of the incentives, which clawback means, okay, like, you take money back from people, right?
Yeah. Oh, you take back the jumbo house.
Take back the house, take back the funds, whatever, incentives. So essentially, if this goes through, it will be a really radical idea because that means you will be fined for not making babies. And that might put us on the world map, being the first country to ever do that. I don't know. Maybe someone else has done that before.
Yeah.
But those were some of the highlights of the parliamentary budget debates. We hope you enjoyed this episode. KZ, it's been a real joy. I hope you find one of your candidates, your fish in the sea or whatever you're looking for. But we'll be back with another episode of the Mothership podcast with me, Rishi Budhrani, very soon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.